Welcome to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. This is your first time tuning in. I would appreciate it if, when you get time, go back and view previous episodes. I'm your host, Gerald Tapp. This episode is about a man who hired a voice actor to narrate his thoughts. There's a man in Ferndale named Jace who hired a voice actor to narrate his thoughts. Not metaphorically, literally. A retired audiobook narrator named Lionel who followed Jace around the room with a boom mic and a velvet voice. Lionel didn't improvise. He read from a script Jace wrote every morning. A script of what Jace thought he'd think. It started as a joke, a way to cope with the noise in his head. But over time, the narration became ritual. Lionel's voice softened Jace's panic, gave shape to his spirals, made his internal dialogue feel curated, like a podcast of the soul. Jace's first script was clumsy, full of disclaimers. I'm probably overthinking this. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just tired. Lionel read it with grace, like it was Shakespeare, like that was poetry. Jace cried, not because of the words, because of the tone. Said it felt like somebody finally understood the rhythm of his mind. He started writing longer scripts, adding pauses, adding breath. Said internal dialogue needs pacing. Said silence is part of the sentence. Jace began auditing his thoughts. Every night, he'd review the day's narration. Highlight phrases that didn't feel true. I'm a burden. They're probably annoyed. I should have stayed quiet. He'd rewrite them, not to erase, to reframe. I'm learning boundaries. They're allowed to feel. I spoke because it mattered. Lionel read the new lines with reverence. Said they felt like affirmations. Jace called them emotional edits. Said internal dialogue is a draft, not a verdict. There's a juice cart near the train tracks, run by a woman named Santa, who blends smoothies based on intrusive thoughts. Jace ordered one after a panic spiral. Told her, I keep thinking I'm too much. She handed him a beet basil blend. Said it was for emotional recalibration. Said the basil helps with self-trust. Said the beet grounds you. Jace drank it, Lionel narrated. He drinks the blend, not to erase the thought, but to sit beside it. Jace smiled. Said that line was a keeper. Jace met a man named Orion at a flea market who sells soundtracks for moods, not playlists, scores. Ambient compositions tuned to emotional states. This one's for quiet rage. This one's for hopeful dread. This one's for the moment before you speak. Jace bought the one called Unspoken Permission. Played it a while, writing his morning script. Lionel said it made the narration feel cinematic. Said it gave the thoughts gravity. Jace said internal dialogue deserves a score. Said silence should have a soundtrack. Jace started noticing depths, moments when Lionel paused mid-sentence, moments when the narration didn't match the feeling. He'd be walking through a grocery store, thinking, I'm invisible. And Lionel would say, he feels seen. Jace stopped, said, that's not true. Lionel shrugged, said, it's what you wrote. That's when Jace realized he's been scripting what he wanted to feel, not what he actually felt. Said the internal dialogue had become aspirational. Said it was a performance. He stopped writing scripts. Told Lionel to improvise. Lionel hesitated, said, that's dangerous. Jace said, so is pretending. Lionel's first unscripted narration was raw. He walks into the room and wonders if he's welcome. He smiles because it's easier than explaining. He thinks about leaving before he's even arrived. Jace flinched. Said it felt like being undressed in public, but also relieved. Said the voice matched the feeling. Said the internal dialogue was finally honest. Lionel started narrating in real time, during arguments, during silence, during moments when Jace didn't know what he was thinking until he heard it out loud. Jace built a mirror in his apartment, not for reflection, for transcription, a smart mirror that displayed Lionel's narration as subtitles. He'd stand in front of it and read his thoughts like a foreign film. Sometimes the words lagged. Sometimes they glitched. Once, the mirror said, he doesn't believe his own kindness. Jace stared at it for 10 minutes. Said it felt like a diagnosis. He started journaling again. Not to fix, to witness. Said dialogue isn't a problem, it's a companion. Sine introduced a new blend, called it Loop Breaker, made from lemon, mint, and a dash of cayenne. Said it was for interrupting spirals. Jace drank it during a panic episode. Lionel narrated. He drinks the blend, hoping it's stronger than the thought. Jace laughed. Said, that's exactly it. Senna handed him a napkin. It said, you're allowed to interrupt yourself. He taped it to the mirror. Jace met a man named Malik at a community workshop. Malik teaches thought rehearsal, the practice of speaking your internal dialogue aloud before it happens. Said it helps. Before a performance. Jace tried it, sat in his car, and said, I'm afraid they'll think I'm weak. I want to be liked. I don't know how to be quiet without disappearing. Lionel recorded it, played it back with music. Jace cried, said it felt like hearing his own soul. Jace started noticing something strange. Lionel's voice began to echo in his dreams. Not as narration, as dialogue. He'd dream of walking through a foggy street and hear Lionel say, "You're allowed to be uncertain," or "You don't need to earn rest." He told Lionel. Lionel nodded, said, "That means it's working." Jace said, "What's working?" Lionel said, "You're internalizing the kindness." Jace cried, said he didn't know kindness could be learned. Said he thought it had to be inherited. The smart mirror glitched one morning. Instead of subtitles, it displayed a single phrase. "You don't need me anymore." Jay stared at it. Said it felt like a breakup. Said it felt like graduation. Lionel confirmed it. Said he was retiring. For real this time. Said the voice was now inside. Jace panicked. Said he wasn't ready. Lionel smiled. Said, "You've been narrating yourself for weeks. I've just been echoing." Jace wrote a new script, not for Lionel, for himself. Read it out loud in the mirror. "I'm not a burden. I'm allowed to take up space. I'm learning, not failing." He recorded it, played it back during walks. Said it felt like walking beside himself. Said the internal dialogue had become external. Said it was no longer a whisper. It was a voice. Sana handed Jace a final blend. Blueberry, sage, and lime. Called it integration. Said it was for merging the voice with the body. Jace drank it. Felt his breath deepen. His shoulders relax. Lionel narrated one last time. He drinks the blend, not to silence the voice, but to invite it home. Jace hugged him and said, "Thank you for teaching me how to speak to myself." Jace started a group, not a support group, a thought choir. People who speak their internal dialogue aloud, not for feedback, for resonance. Each person brings a phrase. "I'm still healing. I miss who I used to be. I'm proud of myself for trying." They speak in unison, then in harmony, then in silence. Jace calls it the echo ritual. Says it's the sound of becoming. I don't know if Jace still writes scripts. I don't know if the mirror still exists. I don't know if Lionel ever truly retired. But I do know this. Jace stopped outsourcing his voice, started listening, started narrating, started becoming. He folded his thoughts into rituals, into smoothies, into mirrors, into choirs. He didn't silence the noise. He gave it rhythm. He gave it tone. He gave it grace. And maybe that's enough. Maybe internal dialogue isn't a problem. Maybe it's a practice, a score, a voice actor, a mirror. Maybe it's this story. Maybe it's you.